Rutgers is the perfect example. I mean, as bad as they've been, they still have is he a super senior, Ron Harper Jr.?
No, I think he's
Or is he a regular season? He's a regular senior that has been struggling a little bit this season, but is like an all-American caliber player when he gets going. At 30-10 last night at home, we got a little bit of action. We had Purdue getting upset. Number one gets upset. And to me, I went back and I watched the tape on that this morning. I'm a little bit more – I think that had a lot more to do with Rutgers than it did to do with Purdue. And I know that you hate doing stuff like this, but if you my belief is that if you had Purdue number one heading into that game, you should probably still have Purdue number one coming out of that game, because I don't think anything that happened there
here we
had to
go
do with
Duster math.
It's not Doster math. Did you think that Purdue was the best team in the country before last night?
They just lost at Rutgers, so they can lose 5 straight. But if you think they're the best team, you're going to keep them at number one. It's so dumb.
No,
it's so dumb.
It's not dumb. Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
Oh my God.
Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
Well, you would probably say the Lakers, knowing you.
No, answer the question. Who is the best team in the NBA right now, in your opinion?
I would say the best team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who the best team is. I don't know if there is a best team in the NBA right now.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Who's your best team in the NBA right now?
I pay attention to the NBA at all, but I'm just trying to make a point.
All right, so we're going to look at the standings. Golden State and Phoenix have been the best 2 teams. Yeah, Golden State, because they don't even have Clay, and they've been the best team. Golden State.
All right, so let's go to Golden State is 21-4 on the season right now, right?
Yep.
And let me just see the last time that they lost. I'm looking at it right now. They lost to the Suns last week.
They split against the Suns. 2 games.
They lost to the Suns. They lost to the Suns. They lost to the Suns last week. Oh, and they also beat the Suns.
Booker was hurt.
No, they lost to the Warriors. They lost to the Warriors 4 days ago.
They are the Warriors. They are the Warriors.
No, they lost. I'm sorry. They lost to the Spurs at home 4 days ago. Right? The 8-13 Spurs at home. The Warriors lost, and you're still saying that the Warriors are the best team in the NBA. But Purdue, the number one team in the country, goes on the road and loses to a Rutgers team in a tough place to play, in conference play, in their first true road test in since COVID was over, on a night where we're probably like a top 8 to 10 player in the Big Ten goes for 30-10. But now you're going to say that Purdue's not the best team in the country anymore. It's fine if you want to think that way. But the idea that we have to write them off as being the best team, as being the number one team, just because they lost on the road, when what you just said was that Golden State is still the best team in the NBA, despite losing at home to an 8-13 team.
You can't compare the NBA. They play 82 games. They don't play 5 games.
No, you can compare, because if you and here's the other thing: if you don't think that Purdue is the best team and you think it's close and you want to kind of nitpick, like that's fine. But if you think that Purdue is the best team in college basketball, losing on the road on a freaky buzzer beater when Ron Harper Jr. goes for 30-10 in a place that has proven to be that can pick you off, like how many ranked teams, highly ranked teams, go into the rack and lose?
Well, without Geo Baker playing. And Rutgers is 4-4.
Who cares?
And lost to Lafayette and UMass earlier this season. That's a bad loss.
It might be a bad loss. But you know what else is a bad loss? You know what else is a bad loss? Losing at home to the San Antonio Spurs, who are 8-13.
You know what's not as bad a loss? At Ohio State. You know what's a really good win? Gonzaga on a neutral court. Kentucky on a neutral court. That's Duke's resume. That's
fine. If you think here's the thing. You always fall back on resume. For a guy that claims to be a basketball guy, you go heavy into the Gary.
That's how you should rank teams.
When you want to rank. No,
you got to rank teams.
If you don't have a basketball sense, if you can watch a team and tell how good a team is, if you're a real basketball guy, you don't have to rely on resumes to tell you.
I think it's that close between Duke and Purdue that I'll give Duke the
nod. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'll give them the nod because I think they've done more. They've done more to earn the number one spot right now. Their one loss at Ohio State is much more impressive than the loss without Geo Baker at the rack against a shitty Rutgers team to this point.
Yeah, and I think that I said this the other day. I can't remember where I said. I don't know if it was on After Dark or on the show with my pod with Tio and Fanta. But like they were like, who do you think's the best team in college basketball, Duke or Purdue? And I was like, it's 1A and 1B.
Right.
I mean, I can talk myself into it. So if you want to go with, I'm not saying that Duke isn't the number one team in the country. What I'm saying is that if you went into last night thinking that Purdue was the best team in college basketball, last night probably shouldn't be the thing that sways you in the other direction.